There were a couple things I thought I would talk about. It's not necessarily all therapist-y, but since it's the new year, I was like, let's think of some AI things we could do to like bring in the new year or help us with goals if you're that type of person. There's different people out there. I don't really set New Year's resolutions, but if you do, if you like that, you can use AI for that. One way you can go to ChatGPT, you could say like, "Hey, this is kind of what I want to focus on last year. Help me pick a word or a theme for the year." People like to pick those like words of the year. My friend Andrea, I saw she posted flourish as her word for the year. People like to pick that like a theme for what they're going to work on this year. Also, one really cool thing that ChatGPT can do now, and I think I saw it on Gemini too, is you can do a mind mapping. Do you guys remember those? Like when we were in grad school and they had us do like mind maps, the genealogy maps. You could do all this stuff. You could do that with ChatGPT now. So you could tell it to make a mind map of like your goals for the next year. And it draws this like incredible picture with goals and all of this stuff. You could just say, draw a mind map of my goals for the next year as a prompt. And it's going to ask you a lot of questions and it's going to create it for you, like in this really cool visual. So I thought that was neat. Let's see. So just thinking about how it could help you as a therapist and like set and stick to goals. You could use it to create actionable business goals or personal goals. You just like talk to it about, hey, help me establish some goals that I want to create for the next year. And it's going to help you do that. And then you can keep going back to that same chat thread and updating it. I did this recently I was just overwhelmed. I had a ton of like end of the month stuff I had to do for all my businesses. And I was like, I'm so overwhelmed. And I said that to ChatGPT, I'm so overwhelmed. And he was like, I call it a he. I don't know why. He was like, okay, Kim, well, let's talk through what's going on. So I listed, just brain dumped basically everything I had to do. And I said, help me organize it. And ChatGPT was like, okay, here's how you should prioritize these. And it started with the first thing. This is the most important because here's why it's the most important. And it listed everything. And then every time I checked one of the things off the list, I went back to that same chat thread and I said, okay, I finished that email sequence. And it was like my cheerleader it was like, okay, Kim, that's great. You did such a good job with that. That's awesome. Is there anything else you want to tell me about that? And I was like, no, I'm done with that. I signed it to my BA to go schedule the emails or whatever. And then he was like, okay, here's the next thing you need to do on your list. And we just like, I went through that whole process and updated like every time I completed something and basically just kept giving me like, okay, now you've got two things left. And it like worked through the whole process with me. It was really cool. So it got me thinking like, what are some prompts you guys can use? Or do you want to create, some goals for your business or even in your life, basically. So here's one prompt: create a SMART goal. We all know those SMART goals. Create a SMART goal for growing my therapy practice by increasing client referrals. That's a pretty cool goal. And it's going to walk you through that process on how to make that happen in your private practice. Another prompt: suggest a weekly plan to improve my work-life balance as a therapist. Another thing I was thinking about with goal setting and all that, AI for goal setting tools to help your clients and you achieve their resolutions. This is another way we can think about this. So generating client-focused worksheets for setting and achieving therapy-related goals. I don't know if you guys have done that. I've done a couple of Ask Me Anything lives, and in the Clinical AI Club, I had a whole module on like homework assignments and all of that. But this is a cool time of year to sit down with your client with ChatGPT open. I talk about this a lot because we know that ChatGPT is here to stay. It's taking over the therapy world. We all know that. And I'm always thinking of ways like, how am I going to incorporate this into my therapy sessions with my clients? So you can easily sit with your client with ChatGPT and you can like type it in. You could even voice, on your phone. Now you could do this with your client. You could say, hey, I'm sitting here with my friend Greg, say my friend, not my client. Greg's like tried to get a better paying job next year. We need to set some milestones and some goals in the form of a homework assignment to help him reach these goals by March 1st. ChatGPT is going to right there in the session with you guys interact and come up with these goals, these homework assignments, that sort of thing. And the really cool thing, I don't know if you guys have done this, but you could share a ChatGPT thread with your clients. So you can hit the share button, you can share and say, here, hey, this is what we did in the session. Go over here, add to it, chat with it, share it back with me so I can see what you came up with. Obviously don't put any PHI in there. Don't say the client's name or anything like that. But if your client puts personal information in there, that's up to them if they want to do that. You share it back and forth, the chat thread, and you can like learn what your client's working on that way. So that's just some ways to incorporate the goal setting process, the New Year's resolution process with your client, but also be interactive with AI because it's coming. You guys, our clients are already using AI for this stuff. When we're using it, they're using it. So, my whole theory with the whole thing is like, let's figure out how to incorporate it into our practice instead of like pretending like it's not happening. So let me know what you guys think about that, what I was just saying. And some examples, some prompts I thought of for that. Create a goal setting worksheet for therapy clients focusing on managing anxiety. Easy peasy, right? And you don't have to sit there and think for 3 hours, like, what are some good, like, assignments to give this client? And then another prompt, suggest a simple 3-step plan to improve client retention in my private practice. This is for us, right? I don't know if you guys have clients that just stop coming. I know I have over the years for various reasons. Maybe they don't like me. Maybe we're getting too close to a topic that was, too painful to talk about. Maybe they just got busy. So using that sort of like a 3-step plan to improve client retention in my private practice is going to help give you like a solid plan to make sure that your clients are coming back to therapy. So you're not always having to hunt for a new client. Maybe it's just a retention problem if you're like, your clients aren't coming back. Another thing I thought about therapists, 2024 vision for using AI to clarify your practice goals. That should say 2025. I wrote that wrong. Does anybody have that problem when you get in the new year, you forget to update the dates? So how could AI help you define and align your business vision for the coming year? And then automating tasks to free up time to focus on larger goals in your practice. That in itself is a prompt. Ask ChatGPT to help you with that. I am bringing in Brittany Long, winwithsystems.com. If y'all don't know her, she's amazing. She knows everything AI. She was my business coach for a long time, and I'm still working with her in a lot of ways. But I'm bringing her into the Clinical AI Club in February, and she's going to do a whole tutorial on easy automations for private practices. And she's going to teach the members in a live workshop how to basically automate with Zapier. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. There's lots of different ones out there. Zapier is the most widely used one that I know of, but it automates with 10,000 other programs out there, MailerLite, Outlook email, Google Sheets, a whole Google suite, all of that. And there's tons and tons of ways to automate processes of your business using Zapier, where it just like basically something happens. Let's say you get an email from a potential client through your secure, like Proton Mail or something like that. You get it in there. Then you could zap it to your HIPAA compliant Google Workstation that's going to have ChatGPT or Gemini interfere and basically write up a really personalized email for this client that just came through your Proton Mail that like hit your contact me form on your website. All of this can be automated through Zapier. It creates the email for you. And then if you want to, you can even set it up where Zapier then sends the email back out to your client without you ever being even involved in the process if you want to trust it that much. There's ways you can intervene in between. It can create the email and put it in a draft for you so you can go and check it. You can have a VA check it, that sort of thing. But those are like the type of easy automations that we're going to talk about. So she's gonna give us 5 ways to automate with Zapier in the new year. So with that in mind, a way to just like use AI to clarify your practice goals. Automating is a great way to do this. So ChatGPT can help you come up with ideas. You can even type into ChatGPT or Gemini, help me figure out how to do this with Zapier so I can have better automations in my private practice. And of course, we're going to be doing that in the AI Club, that live session that only AI Club members will have access to. Some prompts for that: generate a mission statement for a therapy practice specializing in trauma recovery. Another prompt you can use: what are 5 growth strategies for a therapist who wants to scale their practice? And another way you could do it: setting intentions for 2025. How can AI help you and your clients thrive in 2025? I was thinking about this a little bit and just goal setting as a therapist and how AI can assist in making those goals achievable. I mentioned the SMART goal before, but you can, ask it to break it down into easy tasks that make sense priority wise for you to achieve these goals over time. And you could teach your clients how to do this, how to use AI driven tools like journaling apps, habit trackers for personal growth. You could even teach them how to use ChatGPT, the free version of, goal tracking, or helping them establish goals and break it down into small, like achievable milestones so they feel like they're making progress in their life, whatever that goal is. Some prompts I thought about for that: write a motivational email to clients about setting realistic mental health goals for the new year. That's really easy. Another prompt you could use is suggest 5 New Year's intentions a therapist could set to maintain better boundaries with their clients. These are all, ideas that just came up around like how you can make your own practice, your life better in 2025 using AI to help you do that. Okay, well, I will talk to you guys later.